November 1945. With no nuclear weapons in sight, the United States is set to execute the largest amphibious landing in history: the invasion of the Japanese mainland. Operation Downfall would aim to bring the war to the emperor, and the first step would be the invasion of Kyushu, with over 400 naval ships assembled and an estimated 3 million tons of bombs to be dropped by the US Army Air Force. The Americans were prepared to flatten the island in order to give their ground forces the best possible chance at victory. But the Japanese knew they were coming. Logistically, there weren't too many options for the Americans to invade, so Operation Kitsugo was put in place by the Imperial Japanese Army, and the name itself kinda shows what was expected. Kitsugo in Japanese means decisive, but this operation's more commonly translated as the final battle. Their fanatical army and population called for the glorious death of 100 million in order to not win the war, but maybe just kill enough Americans to at least negotiate better terms from themselves. So yeah, maybe the atomic bombs were a good thing. What, too soon? Really? Really? As a part of this plan, the Japanese had reinforced their homeland with hundreds and thousands of troops stationed to defend Kyushu, as well as designated over 5,000 aircraft as kamikazes. But when the Americans landed, they had one more trick up their sleeve: the Type 3 Chinu tank. In an alternate history where the United States never nuked Japan, American tankers would have been in for a surprise. Instead of the M4 Shermans rolling up and making quick work of the Hago light tanks or the Chiha medium tanks, this state-of-the-art Chinu would stop them. Well, theoretically, of course. The Chinu was developed specifically to counter the M4 Sherman, but that was back in 1943, and unfortunately it took them 2 full years to finally make the damn things. Yeah, American bombing campaigns targeting industrial production and raw materials, as well as a general lack of urgency by Imperial Japanese Command, meant that only 100 Chinus were made, and they're only made by the end of 1945 for the last stand on Kyushu. By the time it took the Japanese to finally get around to making the Chinu, the US was light years ahead. They already had things like the Jumbo Sherman, which could withstand German 88 anti-tank guns, or the Sherman EZ-8 variant with a 76mm gun that could penetrate Tigers and Panthers, or even the newer M26 Pershing, which had begun to replace the Sherman entirely by 1945. Oh, and we're not even taking into consideration the T-29 heavy tank, which was only canceled because the war ended, but it may have continued development if the invasion of Japan was going to move forward. But Moi, you're an American, you're a homer, of course you think the American armor's better. There's no way the Japanese just wasted 2 years of development, did they? The Chinu would have still been able to at least hold their own, right? Well, since we never actually saw the Chinu fight American tanks in combat, the best reference we have are tank simulator games like War Thunder. In War Thunder, all tanks are given battle ratings, or BRs, depending on how effective they are. For example, one of the earliest tanks ever made, the French Shermans, has a 1.0 rating, while one of the most modern tanks today, the American M1A2 SEP V2, has a 12.0. So, to put this into perspective, the Chinu has a BR of 3.3, while the base M4 Sherman is at a 3.7. Wait, what? 3.7? Wait, wasn't the Chinu made after the Sherman specifically to counter it? How is the Chinu worse? Yeah, even though the Chinu was made in an attempt to directly counter the American Sherman, it still was worse in almost every single way. In fact, the tank arms race went by so quickly in Europe that the other variants of the Sherman, like the Jumbo or the EZ-8, are rated so highly in-game that you'll never even play against them in War Thunder if you are the Chinu. Both of these guys have a BR of 5.7, and since War Thunder matches you based on a range of ratings, meaning that you'll only fight against tanks between 4.7 and 6.7, you'll actually never be able to see these American tanks at all in the Chinu. They're just too good, and it would be incredibly unfair to the players to fight them. And the Pershing? Yeah, the Pershing actually fought in Europe at the tail end of the war, and it's at 6.7. So, let's be real. Japan and the Chinu, they were cooked. But that's no fun, right? What would have happened if the Americans actually rolled up to Kyushu and had to fight off the over 100 Chinus that were made? How effective would they have actually been? Well, today we're gonna find out, all thanks to War Thunder. Yes, today's video is sponsored by War Thunder, but I somehow convinced them to let me nerd out and make a super niche tank deep dive video on a vehicle and faction that literally nobody plays because I absolutely love World War II history. So please don't ruin this for me. Like, I was actually able to come up with a video idea where me being killed is actually educational and good content. In fact, that was kind of the whole purpose. All right, come on. Here's a good shot. Yikes, dude. Oh my god, that hole is huge. God damn. So if you like what you see and want to play with over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships from 10 different nations with insanely realistic graphics and authentic damage simulations, then you will love War Thunder. War Thunder doesn't just have hit points and vehicle health, but incredibly detailed components and shell calculations to make everything as accurate to real-world encounters as possible. Whether you want to play chill arcade games with casual controls, realistic battles over land, sea, or air, or even jump into simulator mode, which makes controlling these vehicles as realistic as possible, there's a game mode for everyone. Customize your vehicles and play your way on PC, console, or mobile devices, and click the link down in the description below for a bunch of limited time bonuses, including unique vehicle skins, boosters, in-game currency, and 7 days of premium account access to get you started. But enough of that, let's get back to some alternate history. Alright, so before we get into the Chi-Nu itself, let's do a quick recap of how the Japanese got here. The most common tanks in their arsenal were the Hago light tank with a 37mm cannon and 12mm of armor covering most of the chassis and turret, as well as the Chi-Ha medium tank with a 57mm gun and up to 25mm of armor. Both of these tanks were relatively good designs up until the late 1930s, but as these tanks ran into even the smallest of allied light tanks such as the M2A4, the problems were glaring. At pretty much any angle, the Americans could penetrate the Japanese armor, and what had previously been a relatively easy push through China and Southeast Asia, combat against proper allied armor became extremely difficult. Realistically though, tank warfare wasn't that big of a deal to the Empire. Not only did the Japanese need to focus most of their materials on ship development, but the terrain where their tanks would have been fighting made it almost impossible to justify the research needed to improve on their current designs. Realistically, the Japanese just didn't prioritize making these bigger tanks because it seemed like a waste and didn't fit their overall strategy. But this would be a problem when the Sherman began to roll out during the island hopping campaigns in 1943. Even the base M4 Sherman could easily shrug off anything the Hago fired at it, no matter the angle, and the same was for the Chi-Ha and its 57mm gun. Unfortunately, this Type 94 APHE round was just not good enough to have the penetration and explosives needed to get through American armor. As a stopgap, the Japanese did install an upgraded 47mm gun to the Chi-Ha and armed them with the Type 1 APHE round, labeling this new tank the Chi-Ha Kai. Although it still was vulnerable to Shermans and honestly even Stuarts, this new round did give the tanks a fighting chance against the Americans as long as they hit their side or rear. Although it did take 2 years for the Japanese to eventually make the Chi-Nu, if we simulate a round from this upgraded 75mm gun, we can see that the Type 1 APHE actually kind of works. It can pin through certain spots on the Sherman's front hull, such as the MG port, driver's hatch. There's a few spots in the turret, and you can also hit this lower plate and knock out the transmission. It still would be difficult, but this was by far and away the best chance the Japanese had at knocking out tanks that were assaulting them head on. The only problem? Americans weren't just using the M4 Sherman anymore. It's 1945. Let's take the Jumbo for example. Now, admittingly, this thing wasn't super common, but it's not unrealistic to see it deployed in Japan since it was primarily used to assault fortifications. And as we can see, the upgraded armor makes it protected against pretty much everything except the MG port. And the Pershing? Well, not head-on at all, but there are some spots side armor that allow you to pin through, so there's at least a chance? Alright, enough history. How are we testing this out? So first, we're going to load up into a 3-3 game, so we'll be able to play against the M4 Shermans and the M3A1 Stuarts, the tanks it was designed to fight against. And then after that, we are going to sneak this Chi-Nu in to some 6-7 games to see what would have happened if they actually did have to fight against these up-armored Shermans, the Pershings, and maybe even the newer American heavy tanks. There's my Sherman. I think I have a shot over this rock, though. Perfect side armor, too. Poke buck out. Oh, that sucks, dude. Gunner's dead. Oh, thank you. M24 on M24. I don't know if he actually sees me here. He might. Just popped up on his map. Oh, his turret's moving. We got this. There we go. Needed that one. Missing 3 crewmen, doesn't matter. Oh, there's something over here. Well, M10. Thank you very much. All right. Well, I mean, tank destroyers, the lighter armor is super easy with this Type 1 round. APHE just pins right through, explodes everything inside. This guy dropping smoke. Little smoke trail. Hold on. Not sure what that was. Might be another tank destroyer. There we go. All right, back-to-back M10s. I'll take it. What's this? Oh, Sherman. Not sure if I can loop it over. Might be able to hit the turret. Yeah! There we go. All right, okay. This thing can kill American tanks. It actually can happen. As long as they're distracted, we're good. We can pick off on the left side or catch them as they move left to right. In the front. Hello? Panzer? Dude, are you serious right now? No, yeah, that's... I don't want to go over there. Dude, War Thunder. Your worst enemy is actually your teammates like half the time. They're all pushing through here. I just don't... If this guy shoves me, I just... Oh, hold on. That's a Sherman on the right side. Might be able to peek out. Should be a perfect angle. Right through his, like, left corner. I think it's a perfect shot for us. Gotta creep forward since we don't have stab. There we go. What? No way, non-pin? Oh my goodness, Chinu! Non-pin on that? Yeah, that went right through us. Dude, right through. Driver killed the entire crew. Man, I cannot believe that non-pin. It must have been angled just enough. Okay, all right, well, send it back. Yeah, this one's just about done. I mean, okay. Oh, hello. Hold on. We got a shot. Come on. It's a Sherman. Side armor Sherman. It's what we're made for. There we go. M4A1 side armor Chinu. It's your bread and butter, baby. Okay, we have the 6.3 STA2 in our lineup, so we can get into a 6.3 match, and we've been up tiered to a 6.7 match. And the Americans are on the other side, so this is a perfect matchup for this tank. Should see some jumbos, some Pershings, some heavy American heavy tanks. It should be a perfect matchup of what we would expect to see if we were defending Kyushu in 1945. There we go. All right, M18. I want to push out to the left and hit this light tank here, but my right side I'm just worried about. I mean, I think realistically my only chance is just playing in the shadows and the buildings here, and then I need to make sure I take side armor shots on these guys. Might have a good shot here, right through the wood. Does he see me? There we go. M41, thank you very much. Okay. Someone scouted right in front of us here. Oh, here we go. Oh, this should be easy. Come on, side armor. Come on, it's Israeli. But still, American made still counts. Come on. Can I get through this thing? Be right here. There we go. Beautiful. M51, thank you very much. Okay, all right, so the Chinu, if we're in the city getting side armor shots, then we can pull this off. It's tough, but we can do it. Let's see. Oh, is that it? Oh. All right. Yeah, okay. Dude, are you, it's an AA? Oh my, I had no depression. Really? From there? Where's my team? There's something coming down here. Hold on, I don't know what that was off to my right. But something's coming down the road here. I want to say it's German. Maybe like, yeah, Tiger 2. But I don't think I have any shot at pinning that through the front. So whatever is coming down the main road is my only shot. Hopefully he, oh, yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, Tiger 2 as well? Two Tiger 2s? Side armor, I might have a shot, and oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, that's American. That's American. T-34 ain't happening, man. Dude, that round is just enormous, too. Went all the way through the tank. No chance. Might be able to track. Ooh, hello. In 26. Oh, and something Russian. Might be safe at this angle. We'll try to get another smoke out. Oh man, who's gonna show up first? There's one right behind me. You see on the map, there's two. I think this one, yeah, I hear him. Might have a chance here. Oh, there we go! T-34! I mean, that's our best possible scenario right there. Wonder if I can get him on the beach. See him right at the right to left. I think it's just a little too low. Is there someone on the road? Oh no. Oh no. Hand crank turret. No! Not like this! Not like this! Oh man, just executed, dude. It's just no hope. Just out-teched, out-armored. Manual turret traverse. Ain't happening. Hangared. Now that I'm thinking of this, yes, you know, if this was actually happening in Kyushu, you would definitely be able to kill tanks. But part of the reason that I'm successful right now, I don't know if this guy comes around the corner, I might be able to try to spook him out. Part of the reason I even have been able to kill any of these tanks is because they're engaged with other heavier tanks. Like, there's no way, if this was real life, the tanks that are battling and allowing me to flank around would not exist. So it's like I'm only able to be successful right now. Maybe if there's infantry that would, you know, try to ambush the tanks, and well, might be able to get on the side here. Something battling on the other side of B. But if there was some way to keep them distracted and then I come around the backside or side armor, maybe like in-placed anti-tank guns and stuff, but it's just, I mean, I think I've spent hours now just trying to sneak around the map, trying to get side armor in these tanks. It's so impossible to play. There's a guy back here. I know there's something here. The Lech Panzer might push him out. Where is he? Oh, there. Go Pershing. Oh, got the non-pin side. Come on, give me that side armor. Come on, right in the ammo. No, the non-pin again. God, these Pershings, dude. Come on. There we go. But if you saw that hitbox, I'll replay it here in the edit. I think I only killed him because the other two tanks took out his crew. I think I only killed his last remaining crew member, so. Oh, dude, I mean, this is, it's tough, man. We're getting some kills. I'm not saying the Chinu is completely worthless here. But I think, I don't think Japan would have held out as well as I thought they were when they were making this thing. Oh, there he is. Come on. Little tank destroyer should be easy. There we go. Thank you very much. Yeah, the side armor is good. Gonna back out so we don't get wrecked by Artie. I will say though, I think this is actually making me a bit better of a War Thunder player. I'm not saying I'm like a great War Thunder player. I think I can hold my own. But this is forcing me to take a slower approach to the objectives because this tank just will get dunked on by everything, and especially will usually lose in a head-to-head match, like front armor versus front armor. So it's definitely making me be a bit more patient here. Something got scouted. Oh, okay. Need to wait. Maybe angled enough here on this turret. Oh! So non-pin, I don't know if you even noticed. Oh, he's looking at me. There we go! Ammo. Oh, that was close, dude. T29, that's huge. Wondering if I, like, cap this... That's a Pershing. Oh, we have someone pushing him. Oh, that's a little... God! I thought it was a little low. Just hit that wheel. These track wheels, non-pin, are just crazy, man. ZSU is trying to shotgun up close. I want to say the Pershing didn't... Oh, no, he sees me. He did see me. Oh, come on. Might be safe. Yeah, he's backing up a little bit. Still on the ledge up there. I think if I get around the backside, he's... Oh, hello. Oh, another tank destroyer. There we go. Yeah, I don't think we'd run into many of these on Kyushu. But if we did, that would be awesome. They're very lightly skinned. I hear an engine. I don't see him over there, though. Am I going crazy? Wait, no, that was it. Oh. Nah, it's the same dude. I think a friendly planes engine. I thought he was behind me for a second. Yeah, he just got right through. I mean, that's... Yeah, good kill. The M26, dude. And he just pinned right through. There's just no chance for the frontal attack, not even a deflection or anything like that. Ricochet. Easy kill for the Pershing. Oh, Pershing. No. T92. Oh, the rocks. Don't do me like this. Wow, that round got the ammo. That was very lucky. Well, I think when it's all said and done... Oh, hold on. My redemption here. No! From behind! No! Where'd he even come from, dude? That was like our spawn. Yeah, it was our spawn. I mean, all in all, we did a lot better than I thought we were going to. Killed a handful of the American heavy tanks. But I mean, realistically, this Chinu was just years late. The lack of resources, raw materials to make it. I mean, dude, coming up with an M4 Sherman counter in 1945 when you've already been smacked around by it for 2 years is kind of crazy. So, don't think it would have helped. I think Japan would have been American Japan within a couple months. Yeah, easy. So, well, GG's little Chinu, GG's. Well, that went about as good as I thought it was going to go, but I had fun doing some alternate history. And thank you again to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. Remember, click the link down in the description below and check out War Thunder for yourself on PC, console, or mobile and get some free bonuses, including some vehicles, skins, currency, and even 7 days of premium account access.